The sharp crack of plastic echoed through the morning silence, followed by the grinding screech of metal against asphalt. My trash can, once standing at the curb, now lay shattered, garbage scattered across the driveway like confetti. And at the center of it all, a pearl-white Escalade, speeding off like it had claimed another trophy. But this wasn't the first time, and it definitely wasn't an accident. She thought she was untouchable, the queen of our HOA. What she didn't know was that every act of destruction was pushing me closer to a plan she'd never see coming. 3 years ago, I thought I'd found the perfect fresh start. After my divorce, I bought a modest corner-lot home in Pinewood Gardens, one of those picture-perfect suburban neighborhoods. My kids, Emma, 16, and Tyler, 14, finally had their own rooms, good schools, and sidewalks safe enough to ride bikes on. But Pinewood Gardens came with strings attached, an HOA. And not just any HOA. This was the kind where lawn height was measured with rulers, mailboxes came in 3 approved shades of beige, and neighbors whispered about violations like they were crimes. That's where Brenda, though everyone knew her as Karen, came in. 52, recently widowed, retired from banking, she'd taken it upon herself to act as the neighborhood's self-appointed compliance officer. Her weapon of choice? A gleaming pearl-white Escalade big enough to crush anything in its path. Her influence with the HOA president made her practically untouchable. At first, I tried to keep my head down. I followed the rules. I trimmed my grass. I kept my mailbox the right color. But there was one thing about my corner lot that made me her daily target. My trash can had to be set near the street for collection. Right in her walking and driving path. And that was the beginning of my nightmare. It happened one Tuesday morning in September. I was making coffee when I heard the sound. Plastic cracking, like a gunshot. I ran outside to find my brand new trash can obliterated, garbage scattered everywhere. Brenda rolled down her Escalade window with a mock frown. Oh dear. These streets are so narrow. I hope you weren't too attached to that old thing. Then she drove off, leaving me on my knees, picking up soggy cereal boxes in my pajamas while my kids watched from the window. I told myself it was an accident. Bad luck. But then it happened again. And again. By Friday, 3 cans were gone. Every morning at 6:15 sharp, the same sound. Crunch, scrape, silence. My elderly neighbor, Mrs. Olivia, confirmed it. Brenda deliberately swerved close every time. The smirk she gave me one morning as her SUV brushed past told me everything. This wasn't carelessness. This was a game. And I was the target. I tried to be civil. I caught her during one of her patrols. Hey, about the trash can. She cut me off, smiling sweetly. Marcus, you need to understand community living. Oversized containers block traffic. Maybe you should reconsider where and when you place yours. I almost laughed. The city ordinance required placement at the curb. There was no better time. But she walked away, smug. The next day, I got a certified HOA violation letter. Obstruction of traffic flow. Daily fines threatened. That night, Emma asked why the mean lady hated us. Tyler wanted to know if we'd have to move again. Their questions burned worse than the fines. This wasn't just about trash cans anymore. It was about control. I spent nights digging through HOA bylaws, city ordinances, even old case studies. What I found gave me hope. Trash cans on collection day were protected under city law. The HOA had no jurisdiction. So, I set up a ring camera. I marked exact placement with chalk lines. I logged every collision with timestamps. Mrs. Olivia agreed to write a statement, though she whispered, "I don't want trouble." Karen thought she was winning, but I was quietly building my case and planning something far better than paperwork. When trash cans weren't enough, she came after everything else. Grass too long. Mailbox fading. Tears in window screens. Each violation carried a fine. I walked the neighborhood with a tape measure, documenting identical offenses at 14 other houses. None received notices. Only me. On the Nextdoor app, she posted about reckless homeowners endangering children. At board meetings, she pressed for harsher rules. Her Escalade kept ramming my cans, each time with that satisfied smile. It wasn't just harassment anymore. It was warfare. And I was done playing defense. One Saturday at Home Depot, I vented to my buddy Dale, a contractor. He chuckled. "Marcus, nothing in the code says what material your trash can has to be. Plastic, metal, concrete, it all counts." That night, the idea hit me like lightning. If Brenda wanted to smash my trash can, she'd have to smash herself first. I bought bags of concrete mix, steel rebar, and a standard plastic shell. Emma and Tyler helped me mix cement in the garage, laughing for the first time in weeks. "Dad's making a fortress," Tyler said. By Sunday evening, I had what looked like a regular trash can. But inside, it was a steel-reinforced, 60-pound monument to resistance. Monday morning, I set it in place. And waited. 6:15 a.m. The familiar rumble of her Escalade. She aimed, like always. The impact shook the street. Only this time, the sound was different. Not a crunch, but a sickening thunk. Her running board bent like foil. My can didn't budge. She sat frozen, confused. Then backed up and tried again. Another screech. More damage. Still, my trash can stood. From my kitchen window, coffee in hand, I watched the realization wash over her face. This wasn't an accident. This was her losing control. And it was only the beginning. Over the next week, she tried everything. Different angles. Higher speed. Each attempt left new scars on her Escalade. Cracked bumper, dangling headlight, bent frame. Neighbors noticed. Kids timed her collisions for fun. Someone even filmed it and set the video to circus music. Brenda started sneaking around at night, flashlight in hand, inspecting my can. Once, Mrs. Olivia called me, "She's in your driveway, trying to weigh it." The HOA sent more letters, demanding access to my property. I denied them, citing case law. Her obsession was unraveling. And I had every second on camera. At the next HOA meeting, the room buzzed with whispers. I stood up, binder in hand. Regarding the trash can violations, I began, "Here is the ordinance. Here are photos. Here is video footage." The projector played 12 minutes of Brenda's Escalade colliding with my indestructible can. Gasps. Laughter. Then, the kicker, demographic patterns showing her targeting minorities, single parents, and the elderly. Selective enforcement in black and white. Brenda's face flushed. "This is harassment," she shouted, pointing at me. "These people don't belong in our neighborhood." The racial undertones hung heavy. The room shifted. For the first time, she'd lost control of the narrative. Desperate, Brenda vandalized my can with spray paint. I washed it off in minutes. She filed false complaints. My cameras caught everything. Then she crossed the line, a GPS tracker under my truck. The police called it criminal stalking. At the emergency board meeting, she tried one last defense. But midway through, Officer Martinez walked in, serving her with charges for harassment and insurance fraud. Her face went pale. The queen of the HOA had finally fallen. Within weeks, Brenda was forced off the board. Her Escalade repairs drained her savings. The HOA launched an audit, uncovering shady contracts she'd pushed through. Our community transformed. New leadership emphasized fairness and transparency. For once, neighbors weren't afraid. Emma and Tyler beamed. "Dad, you're kind of a legend," Tyler joked as kids nicknamed our house the Fortress. The concrete trash can? It became a neighborhood icon, a reminder that sometimes the best revenge is simply standing your ground. So that's how one HOA Karen turned my mornings into battles, and how a single concrete trash can ended her reign. She thought she was breaking me. Instead, she destroyed herself. What about you? Have you ever dealt with an HOA nightmare, or a neighbor who went way too far? Drop your story in the comments. I'd love to read them. And if you enjoyed this tale of suburban justice, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and stick around for more HOA drama and revenge stories. Sometimes, justice really does come in concrete form.